I've been asked by a few of my subscribers what I would class as the essential tools needed for repairing and fixing toys, so I thought I'd do a video showing you what was in my toolbox. That way you can see exactly what I use every day, and hopefully it'll give you some ideas of what you would need to keep in a toolbox for fixing your own toys. So this is my toolbox, and let's take a look inside. The first thing I would suggest that everybody needs is a cutting mat. You can pick these up very cheaply. It's always worth having one in, because you're always going to be cutting stuff or filing things or gluing stuff, and it saves you damaging your worktop. So always get one of these. These are very cheap. I think this small one only cost me £1. Again, eBay is a great place for sourcing all this stuff. Always get one of those. Next, I have a small pencil case here, which I keep a load of sort of useful bits and bobs in. Tweezers are always a must-have, because you're always dealing with very small screws and sort of tiny elements, so always get yourself a good pair of tweezers. Also, you'll need a couple of different types of pliers. I have some larger pliers here. These are used for sort of fixing the legs on He-Man figures, and some smaller needle nose pliers, because again, it's useful to be able to grip tiny objects, and sometimes the tweezers aren't quite strong enough, so small pairs of pliers are very good. Screwdrivers. You're going to need lots of screwdrivers. As you can hear, this is a larger cross-point screwdriver, but I also have packets of smaller screwdrivers. Lots of toys you'll find will need to be unscrewed to get inside them, so always have a good selection of those. One of the odder items I have in here is a crochet hook for doing crochet. This is very useful if you're going to be sort of rebanding Mego figures, because getting the bands through the bodies is hard, so a hook like this, very useful. Again, these you can pick up anywhere. Actually, I nabbed this off my partner, as she does a lot of crochet, but it's a very useful item to have in your toolbox. Other things you will need is paint. Again, you've seen in my videos I do a lot of touching up of paint work, so I've always got a good selection of these Humbrol acrylic paints, so there's quite a few of those in here, along with a wide selection of brushes of different sizes. Depends on the job you're doing, so sometimes you'll need a smaller, finer brush, and other times bigger brushes, so always have a good selection of those. And I also keep a lot of little mixing pots. These are actually come with fast food sort of items. I tend to wash them out and keep them because they're very useful, and if you've got a few of them, if they get damaged or dirty, you can just chuck them away and they don't cost you anything, so always worth keeping a few of those. Other items, very useful, metal rulers, because you're always going to be cutting sticker sheets and stuff, so always get one of those, and a pair of scissors. Then for cutting things, I tend to use a box cutter. I know a lot of people prefer scalpels and that, but I've always had box cutters, so I find these particularly good. And if I'm not using that, then I've always had a penknife in stock as well. These are, it's something I grew up with, and they're very useful things to have anyway, because you've got all sorts of screwdrivers and blades and scissors, and then there's also things like saws and files on here. So if you're doing sort of quick work on a toy, if you've got one of these handy, it saves you having to go and get lots of other bits of equipment. So always worth keeping those, keeping one of these by. I have a few of these all around the house because I find them so useful. Never travel without one. Then other things, PTFE tape you will have seen me use a lot for fixing loose joints on figures, so again, always have some of that in. And then sort of final few items, glue. You're always going to need glue. Super glue I use for a lot of fixings, and if not super glue, then I have a hot glue gun, which works just as well for some things, but for fine bits of gluing, super glue is always the best thing. So there you go, that is my everyday toy fixing toolbox. As you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff in there. A lot of it you can get away with not having, but if you fix a lot of toys like I do, then this is the sort of the level of items that I find useful for me. Hope that's been of interest to you, and thanks for watching.